Hi, everybody, and welcome to LMP's The Huddle. I'm your host, Dustin Lead. With me, as always, is Keith Schweigert. It's playoff time in the LL Football League, and it's the District 3 playoffs. We have 9 teams competing in District playoffs. We're going to look at Class AAA. Keith, talk to us about a matchup in AAA.
Well, the game I'm really looking forward to in this bracket is Shippensburg at Solanco. This is the first home playoff game in program history for Solanco. It's their 4th trip to the playoffs overall. They're still looking for their first win, so if they get one Friday night, that's a monumental step forward for them. And, you know, on paper at least they should. Solanco comes in as the number 4 seed. 9-1 record. Of course, they suffered their first loss of the season last week against Mannheim Central. Really good game, 21-18 loss. Really nothing to hang their heads about there. It did cost them sole possession of first place in the section, though. They wound up in a 3-way tie with Central and LS. So they got some frustration that they're going to want to work out this week. And they have a pretty favorable matchup here. Shippensburg comes in at 7-3. The Greyhounds are the number 13 seed. They finished 3rd in the Mid-Penn Colonial Division behind Northern York and East Pennsboro. To me, the key matchup here is going to be how well Shippensburg's defense holds up against Solanco's offense. The Greyhounds give up 180 yards per game on the ground, and running the ball is what Solanco does best. They had the league's top overall offense and the top rushing offense this season. They averaged 358 yards per game. Great backfield. Noah McCardle, the quarterback. Robbie Hassel is the fullback. Prosper Eguizawa is one of the wingbacks in their triple option attack. Those 3 have combined for 2,700 yards and 38 touchdowns this season. Wow. So really hard to focus on any one particular player. They're really going to be hard to stop. I think that's going to be the big challenge for Shippensburg. The other side of the ball for Solanco's defense, which was ranked 2nd in the league, they're going to have to watch out for the Greyhounds quarterback, Tyler Gustafson. He's passed for 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns this season. So on that side of the ball, the key is going to be stopping them. I like Solanco here. I think they have a pretty good matchup.
Awesome. Sounds like it's going to be a good game. What about another matchup in Class AAA?
Well, we have 3 other league teams going at it in AAA. Landpeter Strasburg hosts Palmyra. If both Solanco and LS win this week, they'll get a rematch in the quarterfinals in the next round. Meanwhile, Mannheim Central hosts Spring Grove, and Northern Lebanon they're the only league team on the road in the first round. They're going to go on the road and take on Northeastern.
Let's take a quick look at Quad A. What game stands out to you here?
Well, there are a lot of interesting games. One, of course, is the Governor Mifflin Mannheim Township game. That's a rematch of a Week 3 matchup that the Blue Streaks won 42-28. But the one that really jumps out at me is Southwestern at Hempfield. Both teams are coming off losses last week. Hempfield fell to Township 28-14 in that big rivalry game. And Southwestern lost 28-21 to Spring Grove, and that cost them a share of the York Adams Division I championship. Both teams have really similar numbers on both sides of the ball. They have one common opponent in Central York, and they both beat Central York pretty handily. So on paper, at least, this looks like a pretty good matchup. I think it could go either way. It's one that you kind of throw up your hands and pick them. The other Quad A matchups, Wilson hosts Harrisburg, and Cedar Crest visits Exeter Township. Wilson should be a pretty heavy favorite in that game. Cedar Crest, even though they've really come on in the second half of the season, they're going to be an underdog. Exeter's, I think, the 1 or 2 seed, so that's going to be a tough matchup for them.
Well, it sounds like there's going to be a ton of action this week, the first round of District 3 playoff games. For all of the coverage, make sure that you follow us on LancasterOnline.com and follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well.